Xiaomi Mi 6 is a good-looking phone and it has bleeding-edge specifications. However, the OnePlus 3T is another phone that is very powerful, beautiful, and it carries a similar price tag of about 450 bucks. But what about their cameras? In this video, I wanted to compare the image quality and provide you with a lot of camera samples. My name is Linus, stay tuned. One of the key selling points of the Mi 6 is its dual camera setup that consists of one 12-megapixel shooter with wide-angle lens and another 12-megapixel sensor with a telephoto lens that gives you 2x zoom and the ability to take beautiful portrait photos with that bokeh effect. The main camera has a bright f1.8 aperture lens, 4-axis optical image stabilization, and dual-tone, dual LED flash. The OnePlus 3T has a 16 megapixels camera with f2.0 aperture lens, optical image stabilization, and single LED flash. We have a familiar Xiaomi camera app that allows you to take pictures very fast. You can also play with some basic shooting modes and settings. For example, you can adjust some image properties using the manual mode or shoot slow motion videos at 720p. There is also 2x lossless zoom mode that allows you to utilize that secondary camera sensor, and this feature comes really handy. The results are pretty good, definitely a lot better than using digital zoom. The OnePlus 3T can take pictures very fast in daylight and slightly slower in dim situations. We have a pretty simple and easy to use camera app. There is a manual mode among other modes that lets you take a full manual control of the pictures you take. When it comes to the daylight image quality, the Xiaomi Mi 6 takes better looking images that have more detail and they look sharper. Also, the dual camera mode gives you more versatility because of that 2x optical zoom. The area where the OnePlus 3T wins is the dynamic range adjustment, mainly because it has an auto HDR mode. I really wish the Mi 6 had this feature too. Xiaomi's advantage is also visible in macro shots as it captures more detail. Also, it has a shorter focus distance than the OnePlus 3T. As for the low-light image quality, none of these phones is perfect, but I prefer the OnePlus 3T. The pictures have a little bit less noise, slightly more detail, and the color reproduction is better. As for the selfie image quality, the Mi 6 takes better pictures. I held the OnePlus 3T at the exactly same distance as the Xiaomi Mi 6, but the images turned out soft and slightly out of focus. I'm sure that the OnePlus 3T can do better than this, but you have to make sure that your face is in focus before you take the picture. The low-light selfie quality is terrible on each phone, but the OnePlus 3T takes brighter pictures. Currently, I'm testing out the 4K video capabilities of the Xiaomi Mi 6. And today is a cloudy day, this is handheld footage, and I'm comparing the quality of video with the OnePlus 3T. This is a video test with the OnePlus 3T. This is handheld footage, and I'm comparing the quality of footage with the Samsung Galaxy S8 and also the Xiaomi Mi 6. When it comes to the 4K video quality, both phones are comparable, but I found the OnePlus 3T to reproduce more natural looking colors. Also, the video stabilization works slightly better, and there was less video artifacts, and finally, the sound recording quality is better. However, there is a little bit too much bass in my voice due to sound processing on the OnePlus 3T, but the Mi 6's microphones are just worse as the sound may start peaking if you're talking too loud. So I switched the resolution to 1080p on the Xiaomi Mi 6, and I just wanted to compare the quality of footage with the Samsung Galaxy S8 and the OnePlus 3T. So right now I'm shooting a video with the OnePlus 3T, but I switched the resolution to 1080p because some people still prefer shooting a video in 1080p because the 1080p video looks better on the OnePlus 3T. There is more detail and the video looks less shaky. Currently, I'm testing out the video quality of the front-firing camera of the Xiaomi Mi 6. So currently, I'm testing out the front-firing camera of the OnePlus 3T.
and the reason why I do it right now.
As for selfie video, I can't believe what I see, but the sound is out of sync on the OnePlus 3T. There is annoying slight delay. The 1080p video on the Xiaomi Mi 6 on the other hand does not have this issue and the footage looks sharper. As for 720p slow motion video, the quality is comparable, but I prefer a little bit more punchier colors on the OnePlus 3T. I'm leaving you with more camera samples that you can also download using the links in the video description. Let me guys know in the comment section down below what you think, and make sure to stay tuned for a full comparison video. It was Linus, see you soon.
Let's try to work a little bit. The continuous autofocus feature test seems to be pretty good. Not as good as the Galaxy phone, but yeah. Let's try to work a little bit more the usual route, right? Here's gonna be another continuous autofocus feature test. Seems to be pretty decent, and right now it's close-up video. I'm talking because I just want to show you guys the quality of sound recording too. I may sound like I'm rambling, I'm telling you what I'm doing, but I have nothing else to say. So here's the video test. I mean video stabilization test. I'm walking normally, holding the phone normally, still trying to get that smooth footage, usable footage, but you know, as you're walking there are some accidental bumps and shakes. Alright, let me guys know in the comment section down below what do you think of the image quality.
So let's walk a little bit. Let's take the usual route. The continuous autofocus feature test. Seems to be pretty good. Not as good as the Galaxy S8, but this phone is like $400 cheaper, so still has the fantastic camera for the price. Okay, another continuous autofocus test. Pretty good. Alright, let's check the close-up video. But right now the auto exposure or dynamic range test. Okay, and right now the video stabilization test. Holding the phone normally, walking normally, holding the phone in two hands because still trying to get that smooth footage. Let's make a U-turn now. So as always, let me guys know what you think of the image quality in the comment section down below.
And the reason why I switched the resolution, because still some people prefer shooting in 1080p because the files don't use so much storage space and they are easier to work with. And let's take the usual route. The continuous autofocus features seem to be pretty good, but here's another test. Yeah, pretty decent. Actually, it's fast, fluid. Kinda like it so far. Close-up video test. I'm rambling because I just want to give you a better idea of the sound recording capabilities. Alright, auto exposure test. Okay. Right now the autofocus started hunting a little bit. Not as smooth. Alright, so here's the video stabilization test in 1080p mode. I'm walking normally, holding the phone normally in two hands, still trying to get that smooth footage, you know, like usable. So yeah, the usual route where I make the U-turn.
Right now I'm shooting a video with a OnePlus 3T, but I switched the resolution to 1080p because some people still prefer shooting a video in 1080p because it simply doesn't use so much storage space. Those files are easier to edit if you don't have a powerful computer. So yeah, let's take the usual route. There was a continuous autofocus feature test. Another continuous autofocus feature test. Seems to be pretty good. I like what I see. Close-up video test, 1080p. Auto exposure test or dynamic range test, and the video stabilization test. As with other phones, I'm walking normally, holding the phone steadily in two hands because I want to get that smooth footage. Obviously, once you're walking, the phone is shaking a little bit.
The problem is that I don't know the video resolution setting because you can't go to the settings once you switch to the video recording on the front-firing camera. But anyway, I'll tell you that in the full review. So here's the test. Today is a cloudy day. It has started to snow even though it's the middle of May, and I'm just walking normally, holding the phone in one hand in the landscape mode. I can actually switch to the portrait mode, trying not to cover the microphones because I want you guys to know the quality of sound recording too, which is really important on each phone.
And the reason why I do it right now because I compare the quality of footage with the Xiaomi Mi 6 and the Samsung Galaxy S8. Today is a cloudy day. I'm walking, holding the phone normally, but you can see the footage is a little bit shaky. Try to hold the hand as steady as possible. So yeah, this is the kind of comparison test. Let me switch the resolution, the phone to the portrait mode because I held the phone in the landscape mode, so you'll see the difference.
So here's another front-firing camera video test. Right now indoors where the lighting is not as good. So this is how the footage would look like if you use the phone, for example, for video chats at home, for Skype, or for whatever. And let me do a little spin. Still, the lighting is decent, but far from the best. But the quality of footage should not be as good as the one shot outdoors. So here's the quick test of the front-firing camera of the OnePlus 3T. I'm shooting a video with the front-firing camera indoors, where the lighting is not as good. And yeah, it's still decent, but the quality of footage will not be as good as the one shot outdoors.